And then watch this. They've not even got this far. They've turned off by now, thinking, "Oh my god."
Why do we send that guy clubs?
Question then off the Facebook group, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. I don't know what you're going to say, and you probably don't know either. But from Michael Wallace, he said, if Rick could, would he buy TaylorMade Golf for $1 billion? I think that's what it's gone for sale at the minute. TaylorMade Golf. I feel like this
for $1 billion.
I think I've seen that already. The billion. It might not be. Don't quote me on that, but I think we might pull up some stats again and put them on the screen. So if we film this bit, but let's just say it is $1 billion anyway. And he said, what would you change? So let's just pretend you are buying it. Not could you? Because you wouldn't spend $1 billion on that, would you?
I don't know.
If you could,
does it get me a collaboration with all the players?
Yeah, you and Tiger. But what would, I know not from a business point as such, because that's not really our massive world, is it? But from a branding and product, and if it was your baby, you are now Rick Shiels, CEO, president, owner, big cheese at TaylorMade Golf. What's your 2 to 3 year What would your plan be on product, and what would you do?
Good question, isn't it? That's a really good question.
I had to think this morning. I was struggling.
Well, now that the second YouTube channel is doing really well, there's a possibility we might be able to get to this point. For me, what would I do? God,
I was thinking,
slag off these brands.
Product-wise, what would you think of? Athlete-wise,
okay, well, let's go product-wise first. I would, and again, I'd have to crunch the numbers, because if the owner, then your emphasis changes quite a bit, doesn't it?
Let's not take it too literally, though. Let's just be creative with it.
Okay.
Because you might say, do this, but it might not be viable. But let's just go creative. What would you do?
I would like to think, if the numbers would allow it, I know it's not, I would like to be a little bit more transparent, maybe with my driver releases. Okay. And release the new TaylorMade driver. So let's say we started at, let's say I took over now.
Yeah.
And 2022 was my first year in charge. Like that, I'm monitoring that, those products now. I would just basically I'd call a new TaylorMade 1 driver. Just call it that, TaylorMade 1, right? Use all the technology that we've used, but have this idea that driver is going to be around for 3 years.
Really?
Right? And say that to people. Say that, right? This is, right now, as the law of golf is allowing us to do right now, this is the best driver we can possibly make. We can't make it any better than this, right? Right now. We're going to sell it for £350. Okay.
Christ.
But that price is going to stay fixed for 3 years. No discounting. £350, that's it, right? I don't think I'd last very long.
There's going to be some people from TaylorMade who stumble across this clip thinking, what on earth?
So then, I'd probably do that quite similar through the lineup. So all the irons that just have TaylorMade 1 iron, TaylorMade 2 iron, TaylorMade 3 iron. Sexy, right? Much more sleek, much sleeker designs. I would again be transparent. These clubs are coming out for 3 years, right?
Well, Mr. Shiels, you just lost yourself $1 billion.
It's all right. I'm having fun. I would then next time, 3 years down the line, 2025. So I'll have 3 years off. Basically, we just sell product for 3 years. We'd crush it.
But I'm a sales rep at TaylorMade. Okay, you're my boss.
We won't have sales reps. I'm making you redundant.
Right, for this role play, I'm your sales rep. Mr. Shiels, can't call you Rick because you're the boss. Okay. I've got an account that's a really good customer, and they've noticed that because the driver is 2.5 years old, and all the customers have been told there's a new one coming in 6 months, no one's buying a TaylorMade 1 driver. It's just sitting on the shelf. Well, we've got a load of stock. We're going to have to discount it. But you said we're never going to discount drivers.
Well, first off, I'm only doing direct to consumer. So I'm closing all accounts with TaylorMade. So you won't see it in any golf shop, right?
So where do you try it?
Virtually. So Christ. I'm going to spend another $1 billion on a virtual golf app that you get your phone, and we're gonna distribute these glasses, right? Yeah. And what you do, you get these glasses, and you can put your phone into the glasses.
What is going on here?
Into the glasses, and it'll send you to a virtual driving range. Yeah. That'll be the best ever, like Cedar Creek or whatever it's called. And you stood there, and you can choose what swing you'd like to use. You can use your own.
Can I try it with Tiger Swing, please?
You can.
Okay.
We'll program it with Tiger Swing or
Yeah.
your swing or whatever it may be. And in your living room, you can be holding whatever, and it'll feel like you're holding a golf club.
Yeah.
And you'll swing it, and the sounds, the feels, you'll have the wind blowing through your hair, you'll have the sensation of striking these amazing golf shots. And when you look up to the sky and you see the tracer of this amazing TaylorMade one driver that's just crushed it, all the data would come up on screen,
Yeah.
through your phone, through your eyes, and you'll be able to. You can even, this is what's great, you can even test it against other competitors.
Obviously, it'll perform better because you programmed it.
Obviously. So you can pick up a Callaway driver, but the TaylorMade one will still outperform it. You can then wander over, you can have a little walk to the putting green and chipping green, and there you'd have actually Ricky Fowler giving you putting lessons and telling you what ball you should use. And actually, going back to that, McIlroy was the guy who was fitting you virtually for your driver.
Yeah.
And that's an experience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You then, while your clubs are being built by Dustin Johnson, I don't think I'd want Dustin Johnson building them, actually.
Keep Chris Trott on board because he's doing a good job for
Yeah.
TaylorMade.
He can stay,
Yeah.
virtually,
Yeah.
but no staff.
He works from home on a green screen.
Correct.
Yeah.
While you're waiting, you sat on the little patio, and comes along Tiger and just chats to you.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick. But really, AI taken to the next level. I just saw you, Rick, hitting that drive, or saw you guy hitting that driver on the tee. Wow. This is Tiger saying this. Wow. If you don't buy that £350 TaylorMade one driver, you're missing out. Because you know it's better than the Callaway and the Ping and everything else.
I just want to take a second to say what I thought you were going to say, something along the lines of keep the ball the same name for a few years to build a franchise and strengthen it. I didn't think you were going to go down the route of you've wear goggles, tigers in your bedroom.
The other thing, to get rid of that idea that we have stock, 6 months before the next product launch, we stop selling product.
So
No product
so
sold.
it's 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
So what about all the people that take the game up a golf and in that 6 months and there's no TaylorMade drivers to buy, they're going to go to Callaway instead, aren't they?
No, they've not got virtual reality. Because what you can do in the meantime, we can send you a prototype
Right.
of the new TaylorMade one driver that's going to come out in 2025.
Great. Well, have you heard these things with NFTs?
Yeah.
These
Non-transferable trading,
tokens.
whatever they are.
I wonder if that's something that golf brands might do in the future, where you can buy so this sounds so ridiculous to say now, and everyone listening will say this is absolute nonsense. But if you can almost buy virtual golf clubs or products that you can't actually use, but they're weird in it. But
Yeah.
who knows? Just thought that made kind of.
I think I'm onto something, and if TaylorMade want to give me a discount on the company because they can see the vision moving forward, that'll really help.
I can imagine it. There's people from TaylorMade listening to this, or if we use it as a clip on YouTube, watching it, thinking they're seeing a title and oh, no, what it's going to say, maybe add some value to us that we could kind of use the insight of the world's biggest club reviewer, see what he says, and then watch this. They've not even got this far. They've turned off by now, thinking, oh my god.
Why do we send that guy clubs?
I was actually thinking, on a serious note, keeping the ball, keep that name.